Okay, so welcome. So, today we are once again going to be doing a big revision stream. But today we have a lot to revise. And I've narrowed it down to 5 topics in biology, which really do my head in. 5 topics which, while I understand, I can't fully explain. 5. So what we're going to do in today's stream is go through them. We're going to go through some past papers, things like that. So if this is going to be a massive stream, trust me guys, you don't want to miss this one. Or maybe you do if you don't like revising, who knows. So we just spent 2 hours doing a revision session that I would argue didn't really do much. I don't think it helped me in the slightest. It was more of a general overview of some of the easy topics. It helped me remember 1 or 2 things. For example, putting hydrochloric acid in a specimen that's undergoing mitosis stops mitosis from happening. And it also hydrolyzes the cellular cell wall to allow the stem to enter. But just generic stuff like that. Yummy acid. Don't drink hydrochloric acid. You will die. Maybe. I don't know. So, these are the 5 topics. I hope it's 5. Otherwise, my memory is not doing well. The first topic is digestion. This is a pain. Such a painful topic. Because while I understand it, and I understand some things, it's still a really difficult topic to fully explain. And you need to know co-transport and things like that very well. And it's a bit of a weird topic. The next topic, one of the, lower priority ones is mitosis. The only reason I'm putting that there is because who up digestion? The only reason I'm putting this here is literally because sometimes you can get mixed up on the phases and it can be a little bit annoying, but I would argue that's the lowest priority thing to revise. Gas exchange. That's a topic we've just done. And on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being super easy, 10 being super difficult, it's like a solid 6. It's not too difficult, it's just a lot of words to remember. And it could be worth upwards of a quarter of a paper. Remember, it's out of 80 marks. I did not write gay exchange, I wrote gas exchange. That's just, it's just how my letters look. Gay exchange, for God's sake. So I would argue it's a pretty mediocre topic. I've seen in exams where you get asked multiple 5-mark questions on this topic, so it's one that you need to know quite well. The other one is meiosis. I hate this topic, my least favourite topic ever. It's awful, I hate it, I don't understand it. It's shit. And then finally is going to be protein synthesis. Now the reason I've put that there is because while I understand transcription and translation, bro, it is my main op now. It's awful. Like, I understand what it is. Like, it's basically just mitosis, except it results in haploid cells because it's 2 nuclear divisions. The problem is it's kind of annoying to explain. Plus we need to know a whole bunch of processes with it now. Like independent segregation, crossing over. There's a bunch of words there which I can't remember. So this is definitely a higher priority. So these are like the 4 ops, the four topics which I really don't like, and we're gonna try and just revise all of them today. We're gonna try. I won't be able to revise gas exchange very well because I don't have any questions. I can't do any unless I pull out my computer, but I don't know where it is. So what we'll do is we'll start off with digestion. We'll go on to protein synthesis, and then we'll finish up with meiosis, if I can be bothered. So this will be a long stream. You don't need to watch, especially if you don't do biology. Please feel free to click off, because it's the idea with these streams is it's just me explaining stuff and trying to get a better grip of it. So let's start off with digestion. So there are a couple different types. You've got protein digestion, which I would argue is the easiest to remember. Lipid digestion is probably the most difficult. Who wrote synthesizing proteins using essential amino acids with their algorithms? Protein synthesis. Protein, lipid, and carbohydrate digestion. I would argue that it goes in order. This is the easiest. This is the second easiest. This is the most difficult. So the way these streams always go, if I'm doing like a mind map, is I'll just kind of improv. I'll just write what I know, even if it might not be 100% true, and then we'll do past paper questions to kind of elaborate. So protein digestion, the first thing to remember for that is the stomach acid. Because proteins have obviously a tertiary protein structure, that means that some of their amino acids are bonded together with ionic bonds, which join the positive and the negative charges together. And these ionic bonds can easily be broken by changes in pH. And because acid has quite a low pH, I don't even know that shit. We haven't done that. Remember, we have Miss Lumley for most of these topics that I'm struggling with. Hence why I'm struggling with them. So I might not even know everything. But stomach acid, because of its low pH, it basically I don't want to say denatures. It affects the tertiary structure. It kind of breaks up the protein, and as a result, it means that, you know, I guess in a way you could say it's the largest. Oh, right. That makes a lot of sense. I was gonna say we have not done that at all. But that's cool though. I did not know that. So yeah, stomach acid. It basically, imagine if you have like one big old protein, if you have multiple small ones that are broken up because of a pH, it means it's going to be easier for enzymes to act on it. And that the whole premise with this topic is about enzymes, really. So enzyme. So yeah, the enzyme action is a lot easier because it's broken up thanks to the stomach acid. And from there are three types, I'm pretty sure. You have endopeptidase, exopeptidase, and dipeptidase. I get rid of lipid and pop it over here. So, amino acid moment, true. My live amino acid reaction. Endo is, imagine the Five Nights at Freddy's endo skeletons. It's all of the inner bonds of the amino acids get broken. All the inner bonds get broken by this enzyme. Now, I'm not sure specifically what it does, whether it's a hydrolysis reaction or something else. We'll just put for now that these catalyze a hydrolysis reaction, but I could be wrong. Diet Pepsi. Oh, I have some Pepsi here. Because I'm addicted to sugar. Great. I got those Fortnite metallic straws as well. So that's what endopeptase is. It breaks the inner bonds. It hydrolyzes the inner bonds. Exo, if you kind of remember, like a bug has a big exoskeleton. It's the outer bonds which are broken between the amino acids. Oh, Pepsi Max Cherry. I've never had the cherry one. I've had the lime one, and that's lovely. When I was in Florida, when we went on holiday there, we went to like this Coca-Cola factory, and you got to sample like 18 different types of Coca-Cola, which were like from different countries. Some of them were the most like magnificent thing I've ever tried. Some tasted like piss. There was one which literally tasted like mouthwash, but then there was some which absolutely cleared it. So I'm waiting for those flavours to drop. So what you have is endopeptase and exopeptase will act on the amino acid chain, breaking the hydrogen bonds, and from there you will be left over with, amino acid chains looking like this, and what will end up happening is dipeptase will break the final two bonds. So it's a nice little process. It's very easy to remember, to be honest. Remember, I've done no revision on this topic in months, and I was able to recall all of that. The things which I don't recall is where these are located. I don't recall where these enzymes come from. I don't know where they're synthesized at. I don't know anything like that. So I'm leaving space here so we can add that later. Let's move on to carbohydrate digestion, because there are a couple of things we need to know before when the meat is filled with when the meat is filled with HBV proteins with plenty of building block amino acids. Jesus Christ. We will be talking about amino acids quite a lot in a little when we talk about transcription and translation. See, I find that cool though, how we do completely contrasting subjects and yet some of the knowledge overlaps. That's interesting. So carbohydrate digestion. Before we begin, glucose and glucose. Remember, those are the monosaccharides. Glucose and lactose. And glucose and fructose. It's like a little math equation. Glucose plus glucose is maltose. Glucose and lactose. Sorry. I did that the wrong way around there. Glucose plus galactose. Yes, the Fortnite Galactus skin. That's interesting, but I didn't really realise food went into chemistry stuff, to be honest. I never really realised that, but that is cool. So glucose and glucose is maltose, glucose and galactose is lactose, glucose and fructose is sucrose. So we have the complete trading card set. Easy to... Yeah, I mean, it's the same here. Like, there's some topics which I can't remember shit about, but that's why I do so many revision streams to remember them all. Even though in like a couple of years' time, I probably won't need to know any of this. Like, if I'm going to study, like, diseases and shit, I won't need to know about half of this shit. But, I mean, I might. You never know. Anyways, we have the foundation here. Glucose and glucose is maltose, etc., etc. So how does this play a part in carbohydrate digestion? Well, it's because there's different types of enzymes which act on these. Gonna need a different pen for this. I need to buy new whiteboard pens, apparently, because I don't have any. So glucose and glucose maltose, so that's maltase, is the enzyme which breaks down maltose into glucose. Lactase breaks lactose down into glucose and galactose, and glucose and fructose is sucrose, so it's sucrose. Very easy to remember. Lactase mentioned. Caribbean communities, what the hell? But that's it basically. It's like Avengers Endgame here, like the ultimate crossover. So those are the enzymes which digest. Obviously, maltose will be broken down into glucose and glucose. Is this relevant to digestion? No, but I can still quickly talk about it. When we have starch, which starch is comprised of amylose and amylopectin. I don't recall which is which. Hold on. Amylose is the loop. Amylopectin. This is not digestion, by the way. I just thought it was relevant. Amylopectin is kind of branched for a larger surface area for enzyme activity. And because this is starch is comprised of maltose, I believe. Or it might be, it's comprised of alpha glucose, so my bad. But when it's hydrolyzed, I think it becomes insoluble or soluble maltose, if I'm not mistaken. The reason I'm saying this, that's cool though, at least you do it. That's another thing, amylase, obviously. How did I forget about that? Amylase is obviously for starch, if I'm remembering correctly. The reason I bring this up is there was a weird 5-mark question on how the water potential would be affected if starch was hydrolyzed. Starch itself is insoluble, so it doesn't affect the water potential of whatever it's in, obviously, but meanwhile, when it's hydrolyzed, I'm pretty sure it would not increase I don't know, I need to check that, because that was a really, really weird exam question, probably one of the more difficult ones I've ever done, and I didn't fully understand where it was coming from, so I'm going to add a marker there to quickly come back to that and recall the structures of these and how it affects water potential. But yeah, amylase is for that. I'm pretty sure that's everything you need to know about carbohydrate digestion. Obviously, the whole thing is amylase kind of breaks down starch into glucose, and then obviously that glucose or the disaccharides are then broken into their saccharides, monosaccharides. Alright, I will totally have fun. Thank you for watching, dude. I appreciate it. So that's one thing we need to revise quickly. Also, where these are produced, I believe that lactase and sucrose is in the small intestine. Not too sure about maltose. I know amylase is in the salivary glands, but I'm also pretty sure it's somewhere else too. It might be the small intestine. So that's 7 enzymes that we need to know the locations of. Yikes. Finally, lipid digestion. This one, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't recall. I know lipase... Oh wait, hold on, I've remembered. So lipase will take the... let's just imagine it's a triglyceride. Lipase will act on it, and it will separate out the fatty acids from the... is it the glycogen backbone? No, glycerol backbone. So it separates these into their 2 components, the fatty acid and the glycerol. From there, we have a vesicle will transport what's it called? Chiromicrons. Micelles. My bad. It's micelles. Micelles will then carry it through the cell surface membrane. I'm just going to draw like a cell here. So that's micelles. Micelles bring the components of the lipid through the cell surface membrane by making it, is it lipid permeable, lipid soluble? It makes it permeable. And from there, the fatty acid is then joined with, obviously, the glycerol, so it's joined up to make the lipid. And then finally, from there, it becomes a chiromicron, but I'm not exactly sure how that happens. But what I know is then, via co-transport, hold on, I am totally forgetting a step here. Where does co-transport come into this? It's broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. Co-transport plays a part in this. Oh yeah, and co-transport plays a part here in protein synthesis. For the amino acids travel through the small intestine. They will then go through into cells lining the ileum and then finally into the blood. Okay, so there we go. We know protein digestion pretty much off by heart. We need to check carbohydrate and we definitely need to check lipid. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find my computer. And what we will do, here's what you're going to do. Where did I put my computer? Oh, right there. What we will do is we will quickly revise it and then we will do some past paper questions on it. That's already a quarter of the topic done, by the way. A quarter of all the things I need to revise done, which is very lovely. And we did that in about 25 minutes with us also talking to Ethan, so good amount of time there. Let's go on physics math tutor, and we will go quickly check out, we'll go check out the basics, so see if I can jog my memory. Apparently, digestion and absorption. Oh, of course, absorption is a whole other part of this topic. Is the website going to work or not? Okay, so amino acids. Oh, this is an awful looking mind map. Yeah, the physical breakdown, which is what stomach acid would be considered, increases the surface area for enzymes to act on. Carbohydrates, amylase hydrolyzes the glycosidic bonds in starch to produce maltose. There we go. There we go. Amylase plus starch is maltose. Did not know that. Maltase hydrolyzes the bonds to produce glucose. Well, we know that. a membrane-bound disaccharide. So they are membrane-bound. I'm not too sure how relevant that is. Oh, they are either salivary or pancreatic. And that's for, so pancreatic. There we go. So pancreatic or salivary amylase will hydrolyze starch into maltose, and then from there, maltase will hydrolyze the glycosidic bonds between maltose in order to break it into glucose. Fatty acids. So my cells break down, diffuse across the membrane via chiromicrons. Yeah, this is a tough one to do. So monoglycerides and fatty acids will diffuse across them. Okay, so the micelles bring them to the cells lining the ileum. They will then diffuse across the membrane. Okay, that's a tough one. I'm so confused. Monosaccharides, all it says there is facilitated diffusion, carrier proteins, co-transport. Proteases, you got membrane-bound dipeptases, endo and exo. Lipases. Oh, the bile salts, that was it. Lipids are in my cells due to bile salts. So remember, bile is what actually... no, I still don't understand. Hold on. Ester bonds, triglycerides into... So how exactly does this work? Let's have a look. Lipids are digested by lipases, which hydrolyze the ester bonds, yeah, we know that. Before being broken down into the ileum, they are emulsified into my cells by the bile salts. Emulsification increases the surface area. Okay. And carbohydrates are digested by many different enzymes. Amylases in the mouth digest large polymers. Maltases in the ileum break down monosaccharides. Sucrases and lactases break it down. Alright, well that's easy. That's easy then. So all of these are in the ileum. That's easy to know then. And I guess a quick definition there for endopeptase is it hydrolyzes the peptide bonds between specific amino acids in the middle. Exo hydrolyzes the bonds at the end of the polypeptide chain. Okay. So the only one we need to know is the lipids. So lipids are digested by lipases. So let's go draw ourselves a lipid quickly. This is our lipid. And we're going to say lipase breaks it down into that. From there, lipids are they're digested, which breaks a bond. Before being broken down in the ileum, lipids are emulsified by my cells. So what are my cells? They emulsify into my cells by bile salts released into the liver. This is actually quite a weird one. Again, I'm not certain of this. Oh, let's try and see something else. Digestion and absorption. Flashcards. Amylase in the mouth, maltase, sucrase, lactase in the membrane of the small intestine. We know that. Where are lipids digested? Wouldn't it just be the small intestine? Yep. What needs to happen to lipids before they can be digested? So they must be emulsified by bile salts produced in the liver, breaks them down into larger fat molecules. Sorry, it breaks the larger fat molecules into smaller soluble molecules, and then lipase hydrolyzes the ester bonds. Wait, hold on, so we've been doing it completely wrong this whole time. My cells are what acts on it for... You know what, I'm so confused here. This is not only confused me, but annoyed me. I just need a diagram to understand this fully. And of course there's no good looking diagrams here, which is a problem we had last time. In the stomach, fat molecules, cells in the stomach produce lipase, but digests triglycerides. So yeah, hold on. So yeah, lipase does act first. Most lipids are undigested and clustered in large droplets. Bile made by the liver is released. So here we go. So we're getting somewhere now. Bile kind of acts on it. And this emulsifies. Bile emulsifies for lipids. And again, this is so bad at wording. How have I not found a single explanation that makes sense yet? Enzymes that digest lipase. Okay, you know what? As a last resort, because I quite literally do not understand this topic, no definitions I've found make any sense whatsoever. So what we're doing is we are going to go to digestion and absorption, and we are going to answer both quizzes and try and just get as many right. Here we go. What diagram is air? That's the that will be the small intestine. What is air? What is C? A stomach, and then C would be the large intestine. Oh God, none of these make sense. Why does the small intestine have a rich blood supply to maintain the concentration gradient? Pepsin is an enzyme which works in the stomach, so its optimum will be acid. The exocrine function of a pancreas, probably. Bile is made in the liver, stored in the gallbladder, and used in the small intestine. Bile emulsifies fats. The stomach produces mucus to trap pathogens, I think. Mechanical digestion occurs in a lot of places. Mechanical digestion involves a mouth, stomach, maybe? The stomach is the site of nutrient absorption, no. Which organs are used in chemical digestion? Salivary, pancreas, liver, stomach, and small intestine. Movement of food through the canal, no idea. And we got most of them right, okay. So we seem to have done well on that one, despite the fact that I still don't understand this topic. What type of bonds are broken when proteins are digested? Peptide bonds. What type of bonds are broken when carbs are digested? That would be glycosidic. Lipids is ester bonds. Phosphodiester bonds. Which macromolecule is hydrolyzed by amylase? Starch. 2 alpha glucose molecules. Maltase catalyzes a condensation. False. Where would membrane-bound disaccharides be found? Small intestine. Lipids are emulsified by bile, and emulsification increases the surface area. Exopeptases hydrolyze bonds at the end, yes. Correct order of protein, it could be any. The substrate of amylase, starch. Amylase is not produced in only the salivary glands, it's pancreatic as well. What type of molecule is lactose? Disaccharide. Where would maltase enzymes be found? In the small intestine, probably. What part of the hydrolysis... What are the products of the hydrolysis of a triglyceride? Glycerol and free fatty acids. Lipase would be the small intestine. Once absorbed into the epithelial cells, triglycerides combine with which proteins okay, hold on. We've gotten a little bit of info here. So after lipase is hydrolyzed, it's then emulsified by bile into to increase the surface area. So maybe bile acts on it first to increase the surface area, then lipase, Then those bile salts form around it. And then from there, triglycerides combine with proteins to form chylomicrons. Lipids are absorbed into capillaries. Epithelial cells of the small intestine have microvilli. What the hell? What the hell? I got 100% on that quiz. And I still don't understand the topic. So either that quiz was really easy, or I'm doubting myself a bit too much. Let's try one more thing. Here, my cells are water soluble and enable the lipid digestion products, so that's after digestion, okay, to be transported to the small intestine, but my cell breaks down and passed into... Okay, so we know now that my cells bring the products of lipid digestion to the small intestine. Chylomicrons are lipoprotein particles that transport lipids from the intestines. So we still don't know exactly what it does, but... Okay, here we go. We found it. So firstly, emulsification by bile. Lipases can only act efficiently when they're broken down. Alright, so first and foremost, before anything, so imagine this is like a bunch of like fat or whatever. So, emulsification. So there, emulsification by bile. From there, the lipases can now act on them. Because lipase enzymes are only effective when the lipids are broken. Can only efficiently act. So yeah, lipases can now act. Okay. The bile salt surrounding... Sorry, lipases break them down into... Break the lipids into fatty acids and glycerides. So, fatty acid, glyceride... And from there, bile salts surround the long-chain fatty acids and monoglycerides. So we're just going to have to... My cells move into the brush border. So then, they form triglycerides. From there they get a protein coat. And then alright. Jesus. There we go. There we go. We're done. We're bloody done. Honestly, I was prepared there to spend about 2 hours doing revision. Hell no. I'm done. I'm done. We've spent an hour on that. So, before we end, let's just recap quickly. So, you have your fat, which is being digested. Sorry, which is about to be digested. So the fat is firstly emulsified by bile, which is produced in the liver. The bile emulsifies the fat in order so that the lipase enzymes can act because of a larger surface area. So it's broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. And then from there, bile salts, from obviously this emulsification, will form micelles around the fatty acids and glycerol. The micelles bring the fatty acids and glycerol into the intestinal cells via diffusion. From there, the fatty acids and glycerols form together into triglycerides. Then, via the Golgi, they form, would it be lipoproteins? Yeah, lipoproteins. Are basically, in other words, the Golgi combines the triglycerides with proteins to become chiromicrons, which are then released into the capillary via exocytosis. So that is probably the most difficult, one of the more difficult things we've ever done. What I will do is, because I've only covered 1 out of 4 topics, we have done that in a good amount of detail, but the only thing I think we would maybe need to talk a little more about is co-transport, when that comes to it. Talking about glucose and amino acids via co-transport. So that's the only 2 things that we haven't mentioned there. Is number 1, we need to talk about co-transport, and number 2, maybe talk a little bit more about where these are found. I'm pretty sure endopeptis is the only one found in the stomach. The others are found in the small intestine. So there you have it. There you have it. I am done. I am done. I was hoping this would be a mega stream, but I went to sleep at 2 in the morning yesterday. because I'm stupid, and what that means is I'm very tired. So, because we did not get much of it done, we've only got a quarter done, this is my promise, okay? This is my promise. My promise is that from now on, we are doing at least one of these every 3 days. Okay? One revision stream at least every 3 days. So what that means is the next time we should do one of these should be Friday, and then we should do one on Monday, Thursday, etc. Every 3 days we will do a revision stream. And in fact, so that I don't look like a hypocrite if I don't do it, I'm going to draw with pen on my fancy calendar. I'm going to draw with pen when I'm revising. That's what I'm doing. I'm making a promise to you guys. Shit. So, we've done a revision stream today. So that means the next one will be on the 5th. Then the next one on the 8th. Then the 11th, so Thursday. And we'll do one. Because I said once every 3 days, I think the way it should work is if I choose to do one the day after the other, it extends by 3 days. So we'll do one on Thursday and Friday. Then I won't do one on Saturday or Sunday. I'll do one on Monday. There, I've made a couple. So we will be revising next on Friday, Monday, and then I'll do one on Thursday and Friday as well. And then from there, we will do one on Monday, Tuesday, and we'll do one on Wednesday as well. So those are all upcoming revision stream times. We will do one on this Friday, next Monday, next Thursday, next Friday. Thanks for watching. I didn't even realise sorry about that. I was just about to end the stream because I'm slowly realising now maybe spending an hour on each topic and then I revised all that. Yeah, maybe doing an hour per topic. I'm not sitting here for 4 hours. I'm actually losing the will to live. So what we're doing instead is at least once every 2 or 3 days, I'll do at least an hour of revision. And then obviously leading up to AS levels, which my first exam is on the 13th. So from May the 1st all the way up to the 12th, every day I'll do a revision stream. So that's 12 revision streams. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Holy shit. I can do 20 revision streams before... Starting May the 1st, I will be able to do exactly 20 before I'm done with all the exams. So what that means, that's the exact same amount I did for GCSE. The exact same amount. I did 20 revision streams for GCSEs. So, that it is what it is. So there you go. That is my promise to you guys. I will keep doing more revision streams, and then come May, we'll do one a day. So, God. So I'm slowly escalating the amount that we're doing, because doing one a week ain't gonna cut it anymore. I've really been postponing doing revision. But over the last 4 weeks, since our mocks were done, I have not bothered revising once. I'll be completely honest with you. I've not bothered revising once. So we gotta start doing it. Gotta start doing it.